This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. It's so great to have you joining me here in these online lessons. It's a Theory Thursday, and I'm super excited to be bringing back Theory Thursday lessons. So we've been getting some other courses going this summer, and have sort of suspended Theory Thursdays for a little while, but we're now back with Theory Thursdays, where we work on fretboard theory and music theory in general, which is so great as we're learning to play the various styles of music. And if you want to write music and all those things, understanding music theory is so valuable, and fretboard theory, which all overlaps, but how the guitar specifically works with theory. So we've done a lot of things in this course. We got down the chromatic scale and sort of discovered how the neck and fretboard sort of work on the guitar. We looked at the major scale, which should have unlocked with all the different ways that we did it and how they all intertwine. Should have unlocked the fretboard, and we started looking at how major and minor chords are created in first position and in the movable shapes, and we had the triads and so on. So as we continue here today, what we're going to do is actually look at the arpeggio shapes that overlap with the major scale shapes, which I think is really valuable, and I want to do that before we start moving on to looking at more types of chords and how chord progressions are created in various modes. Lots of great things to come. So today we're going to look at some arpeggio shapes. These completely overlap with the major scale. So if you haven't checked out the lessons that go through how to create the major scale along the fretboard, then you're going to want to check those out because these overlap directly with them. But I'm going to go ahead and show you these shapes. Working through these shapes is a really great technical exercise, really builds the hands and the coordination between the two hands, but it also helps us get to know the chords and get to know the fretboard. So we'll go ahead and dive right in here. I have the shapes up here on the board. I'm going to step to the side. And of course, you can take a screenshot so you have the board. Over here on the left side, we're going to start with the single octave shapes. Now, one of the first things that we did with the major scale was learn that single octave form that sounds just like that. And I'm playing it in G with my middle finger at the 3rd fret. Well, this shape right here is the arpeggio that would go through the notes of the chord that relate with that scale. 1, 3, 5, and 1 again. So root, major 3rd, perfect 5th as a reminder over there. So we'd be playing those notes. So I could play through that major scale and then play the arpeggio shape. It's a great exercise to do. I'm not going to go through the major scales again, but I am going to show us how these shapes, arpeggio shapes, work. So we've got this one down here, form 1, we'll call it form 1. Middle finger on that 3rd fret of that low 6th string, and I've got middle, index, pinky, and then I can roll my pinky if I want to, or I can go middle, index, ring, and roll that finger if I want to. But here is this shape. As you're getting it down, a great thing to do would be to go through chromatically, and let's do that just a little bit. So we go ret, T, and we'd have the G, and then we move everything up a fret for G sharp or A flat. We could go up to A, we could go up to A sharp or B flat, we can go up to B, up to C, up to C sharp or D flat, and up to D. And I'm just going to stop there. You could play through more of that. Of course, just like we did with the major scale, transferring that to the higher strings, the arpeggio shape does that as well. So we can move everything up to the 5th string, and if I start at that 3rd fret, I'm in the key of C with this one, but I can play that same shape there. And let's take that one up just a little bit chromatically. Take as long as you need to get it down, but we've got that one. And then if we move it up, we've got C sharp or D flat. Move it up, we've got D. Then D sharp or E flat. E. And we've got F. We could continue further, but I'm just not going to here in the demonstration, but you could learn those in all the positions that you're comfortable with. We can of course take that up to the next string, and so Because of the interval difference between the second and third string, it's different than what we have between all the other strings. We have a perfect fourth, if you remember our lesson on intervals, and if you need to know about intervals, check out that lesson. But we've got between the two strings, it's a perfect fourth interval when they're adjacent, except between second and third strings, then it's only a major third. So because of that, we have to go 1 fret higher with this shape, and you may want to take middle, index, reach with your ring, pinky up there on top. That's a great way to finger it. So you can finger it however you'd like to. You can also take pinky, 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 lots of pinky. So if we were to get that one down, we'll take that through chromatically here, just a few keys. So we go ready and up to F sharp or G flat, up to G, G sharp or A flat, we got A sharp or B flat, and B, and then up to C, and that's pretty good. You can keep going as high as you want to. I didn't do this one as far because really those two are the same, so saving a little time here with the lesson. But the last one then, where we can play this full shape, is up here on top. I put my index finger at the 3rd fret. I have B flat or A sharp. In this case, I'm going to use my index, index, pinky, pinky. So these are great technical exercises besides being part of our theory. So if we take that one through chromatically a little bit, we'd have ready and. If we go up a fret, up another one, higher, up to D sharp or E flat, up to E, and then we're up to F. We have some partial options on the higher and lower strings, but those are going to come out in our 5 positional forms, so just leave it at that. There's our single octave ones that overlap with our single octave major scale. Uses that same middle finger first or index finger down here. We have an alternate form, just like we do with the major scale, so and then I could play that arpeggio shape that relates with that. So this relates with that second form in that major scale. And if we start up here, I put my pinky on the 5th fret, I've got A, you can get that shape down, get comfortable with this shape here. You might notice that these come right out of those triad shapes. So when we're looking at the actual chords, these shapes were right there. Our triad shapes where we have each note on a different string, whereas this one has 2 notes on the same string. So we couldn't play both of these notes at once, but we could play all of those notes at once and create a voicing. So once you get that shape down, we can take it through chromatically a little bit there. So we go ready and take it up a fret, up one more, and one more, up to D, you could do D sharp, and E. Just like that. Now we can transfer that up to another string, and you might see sort of the C chord shape coming out of this one. If I have my pinky on that 5th fret, I can play through all of these. Similar shape. Once you kind of have it down, we want to take it through chromatically. We go ready and just like that. So once you've got that one down, you can work that as much as you want to. We can transfer it up to the higher string as well. From this one, you might see your first position F chord or the top 4 strings of the E chord. So we got it. That shape there should be familiar. And if we put that ring finger, 5th fret of the 4th string, we would have a G. So you go ret, T, and take it up a fret, up another one, just like that. And we have partial versions of that on the higher and lower strings as well, but we're going to get that within our 5 positional forms. So, as we did with the major scale, we saw there were ways that we could connect these together to go into multiple octaves. We know that we can connect the form to itself. So with this one, where I end up on that higher root on the 4th string, I can go to the one with the 4th string and go higher. So, and put my ring finger there. Or sorry, my middle finger, and then come down. So I can connect those together to go into higher octaves. We also learned, though, with the major scale that there's 5 positional forms that fill out the entire neck, and overlapping with those are these 5 positional forms of these shapes, which happen by connecting these two together. So in the case of this one, when we get to the one where we have our pinky on that higher root, we can go to the alternate form and find where the root is on that same string and play from there, and we get these two together, and we've got this form here, which overlaps with one of the 5 positional major scale forms, which is pretty cool. So take a look at these now. So at that 3rd fret, I've got my root on that low 6th string. I've got that scale form 1, or sorry, arpeggio form 1 we could say, but it overlaps with scale form 1 in the way that we did it with the 5 positional forms. And I can play that there. It's really great to be able to play through that scale and then play right on through that arpeggio as well. It's really great for our technique and our theory, as I have explained. So, taking a look at that one, you want to get that shape down and then play through it chromatically. So work through it as much as you can, and then we'll play through it a little chromatically here together. So go ret, T, and we'll go up one more. And then up. Higher, and higher, higher, up to C sharp or D flat. And I'll do D. So it's great to work through those like that. Now we have the second form where everything's been transferred to a higher string. So we got the form 1 from over here, and then we just have a partial on top and on bottom. You might also see out of this one, you can see the bar chord forms, I think, really easy out of these. So out of that scale form 1 that I've got up here, form 1, looks just like our major bar chord with that root on the 6th string that comes out of our E chord shape, except we have this one additional note that because we can't play both of those notes at the same time. So to this one I see the C bar chord shape. So I'm going to go ahead and play here now. Bringing your ring finger over will facilitate playing on that high string a little easier. With your middle finger, you can come down and get that 5th below. So with this one, we go ret, T, and you can work through and get that shape down as much as you need to, and then it's great to take it chromatically. I'm going to take it chromatically here a little bit. So go ret, T, and starting with C. Sharp or D flat, D, up to D sharp or E flat, up to E, up to F, F sharp or G flat, and up to G. Just like that. So we can take that up to another string. So this one starts with this one over here, and we have just a partial on top and a partial on bottom. So only one complete octave, and that's all right. This overlaps with the major scale shape as well. Explained in a previous lesson. So you want to get this one down. I like to reach with that one as well. Ring finger to index. And then as I come down, middle, pinky. I can use my pinky there, but if you want to switch and use your index here, come down, that's okay as well. So you want to go through that one, get that shape down. Sometimes talking throws me off as I'm playing, but you want to get that shape down, and we take it through chromatically. So we're going to take it through chromatically here. Together we go ret, ti, and up to F sharp or G flat, up to G, G sharp or A flat, up to A, A sharp or B flat, up to B, up to C, and I'm just going to end there. Now, go over and look at the fourth one, where we again move that root higher, but now we have a lower root. So I'm going to look at this with our pinky. So we're going to look at this form first, followed by one of these forms. So in this case, this form connected to the one that has the root on the third string here. So if I put my pinky at the 5th fret, for number 4 over there, we'd have the A. We're playing an actual A. These are really great for the fingers, gaining that control. Of course, this one overlaps with the major scale form that looks like so. Explained previously in the course, as I've mentioned before. So you go ret, ti, and again. I kind of didn't get that one as loud as I should have. Take that through chromatically once you're ready. Together, here we go ret, ti, and. And we go higher. And up to B. Up to C. C sharp or D flat, up to D, up to D sharp or E flat, and up to E. So with that one, I kind of see the G chord shape there, and if you were looking at bar chord options, makes an A, but sort of the G chord shape I see in that one. And here with this one, I see the C chord. So the C chord bar chord shape, just if that helps see them. But with this one, with that pinky on that 5th fret, or number 5, our last one here, the pinky on the 5th fret, we can arpeggiate through with this one. You want to get that one down, nice and comfortable. Really great for the hand, and we'll take that one through chromatically. Starting right there on D, we go ready and up to the next. Up to next. And next. And here we go. I'll do one more. So, as I've mentioned, those are great for developing our technique. We can play through the major scale, play those right over the top, or just see them in general can really help unlock the fretboard theory. So, okay, felt like I needed to do that to overlap with our major scales. Before we start moving on here, we're going to take a look at the modes of the major scale and how various chords and chord progressions get created. Lots of great things to come. So, keep having fun with the guitar and keep at it. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays now, we have a jazz series or a jazz course on playing jazz guitar. On Tuesdays, we have the Technique Tuesdays back, and on Saturdays, we still have our strumming lessons, the rest of that series coming out. So lots of great things coming out right now. And of course, there's hundreds of lessons on the channel. So lots of great things. Keep at it, take care, and we'll see you again. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more in-depth lessons and to progress through a free guitar course, check out my Guitar 101 series on YouTube and my guitar method books, which all come with access to hours of in-depth video lessons. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.